Welcome, welcome, welcome. So this is the third match of the tournament. My first tournament, my third match, and it's going to be a great tournament. I mean, a great match, and luck would have it, fate would have it that I am again playing Eric the Horrendous. So that was quite funny. We had a little chuckle about it in Discord, and I now get to put into practice the advice that he gave, which was bring a big monster and don't bring so much of a heavy infantry front line. And lots of like feral cold ones or speedy cavalry or whatever. So let's begin. Again, I don't have the replay of this because I'm a bit too brain dead for that. I forgot to save it afterwards. So we're running it off VLC, and that will have to do. Now, what was my game plan here? Pretty much the same as it's always been. Just try and get something. Just try and get an objective. But I'm putting those skirmishes. I was debating, should I put one on each side of those trees and see if I could split push all three objectives, because I'm going to push the Dreadsaurian up onto objective 3. I think that was the first idea. Put the big things up on objective 3, because I kind of felt a bit scared of pushing it into the middle. I don't know, I just didn't like the idea of getting sandwiched. I thought it was a bit more of a defensive position to go closer to the side of the map. And then I end up just putting both the skirmishers over on that left side of the trees, because I thought maybe that was a better, just to kind of synchronize with the battle strategy a little bit more. But then I thought, well, I'll take the fast cavalry over to objective 1, or at least start heading over that way just to see what my opponent is going to do. And again, I see, well, I'm not going to get objective 2. This is really annoying how fast Khorne is at getting objectives. So, yeah, I guess you can see I just tell them to shoot and just try and get some free value. Well, it probably wouldn't be free, right? They're firing back. So I don't know how cost effective that is. I guess that's something I need to ask for advice. And what am I doing here? I'm sending 2 of those feral cold ones over to objective 1. I can see there's not many units over there. I have no idea if it's going to be an effective, like a good trade or not, but the idea is I'll just send something over there and hopefully it'll kill it. Let's just hope. Right? When you don't know what you're doing, just hope. Hope is a good thing to have in life, and let's embrace hope. And yeah, looking over there, they're doing pretty bad. I hadn't seen it yet, but at some point I do see that those feral cold ones are getting absolutely minced. Here I see, though, again, just that bad fundamentals. I didn't get the Dreadsaurian up onto the point. And you can see there, I'm trying to, I don't even know the buttons properly. So I'm clicking on it and trying to get it to send over there, and I keep pushing the wrong button. Because if you haven't watched the other videos, I'm using foot pedals that replace the buttons of the mouse, because I have nerve injuries and in my neck and my arms, and clicking mouse buttons is not good, and using keyboards is not good. So I have to navigate with just using the mouse cursor, and I need to click the buttons of the mouse with my foot pedal. So sometimes I still get a bit confused as to which button does what, and not to mention which button on my foot pedal is what. Yeah, I don't know, that was probably very convoluted. Back to the game, and me doing something, not really knowing what I'm doing. And what's Valkyrie doing? Yeah, I saw like the Dreadsaurians over here, and it's not doing anything. And so obviously Eric the Horrendous is being very clever, and he's just avoiding the Dreadsaurian, which is the thing to do. So now I'm like, right, well, let's take it over to point 2. And I think I realized a little bit how I'm sending it over there by itself, but I did it anyway. And after the match, Eric the Horrendous did say, one of the many pearls of wisdom and great advice he gave is really be careful sending that Dreadsaurian around unsupported, which I did. But, I didn't have really any option in this moment, which is just bad game tactics for me. So in the future, I should really be thinking about that more. And so I'm not really here. I guess I'm just trying to get those Feral Cold ones to go somewhere constructive. And but I think I saw the hounds. I think they're hounds that are there, and then I second guessed that, and I can see that unit's coming up. So I'm like, God, I need to reinforce this objective because it's going to get taken from me. And I think here I try to abort this objective. I hope I do. Yeah, there we go. Because I'm like, that's just a bad situation. It's a losing battle. I got a bit of value out of whatever those troops were, and let's retreat and cut our losses and not sacrifice 2 units. I need them on the battlefield. So I also just realized now that the Dreadsaurian is being a total schmuck, and it's just standing there, shooting the breeze, having daydreams while the skinks on the top are shooting. But really the Dreadsaurian needs to be up on that point, and I just didn't click it properly. So now at least it's actually earning me some damage, and it's earning its keep. It's paying its rent after God, how long has this battle been going? 4.5 minutes, and the Dreadsaurian has been doing nothing for me. That's got to be a pretty bad thing to have happened. So finally, the Dreadsaurian is earning its keep, and we'll see how it can do. I'm trying to be really clever or capable of trying to micro units through other units, like weave the needle or thread the needle, which is definitely not an easy thing to do in a work in progress, and yeah, not great. And so here I'm probably thinking this, what has gone wrong? It's all going wrong, and realizing that I don't have any units there, and the Slan is just sitting there like a putz, about to die, looking into the light, seeing the enemy charging down with absolutely no army to protect it, other than what was there, like a skink skirmisher maybe, or a feral cold one, or nothing great. And so I think, well, here we go. I'm still trying to be sneaky with doing a side back cap. I remember, and probably now is when I start. Yeah, there we go. I'm like, I got to get the Slan the hell out of here. I don't want to have my Slan killed again, because that's happened. Did it happen the first game? Yeah, it did. Valkyrie hunted that Slan, and so yeah, I'm like, let's try not make that a hat trick of getting my Slan absolutely karate chopped. And I can see that there's like only one unit on both of those outside points, that the big battle is in the middle, and I want to do something about that, and yet I just don't know how. I don't know how to get a unit there quick enough. And so I got those skink skirmishes there. Something that was cool I noticed, this is probably a well-known thing, but if you send I've been sending skirmishes and just kind of those, arrow units or whatever, and they'll pull the units that are on the objective off, and if the opponent isn't watching, you can just kite them away. And, maybe the super high-level players don't have to worry about that because they're super on point with micro. But I started to notice that I was able to do that, but I don't think I was really able to take advantage of it, because it's just so hard getting units up on the points. And, I'm keeping the value not too bad this time. I'm only a 1k behind, and that surely was better than the first game, surely. and definitely better than the second game. And this is the second time I'm playing Khorne, the second time playing the same opponent, Eric the Horrendous. And so I'm feeling like I'm doing. I don't think I was feeling it in the game, but looking back in hindsight, and certainly after the game, I felt like I did a lot better, and that my brain was starting to actually switch on a little bit. And here I've almost got this point, which is awesome. I think I remember thinking that was awesome. Like I'm actually winning, kind of thinking, even though I knew I wasn't winning, but I'm in it. This isn't a total and utter stomp. And so there we are. I'm trying to get those units around because I want to get something onto the point. And I don't know why I pulled out one of those pterodactyls. I probably was just pulling out anything just to try and get something out onto the field. And so at this, I'm like, I've got the second objective. I feel like I can get the first objective, where I was sending all those units. And really, I should have just. Am I going to send points up to the third point now? Is that what I do? If I do, that was probably a mistake. But here we go. I look at this now, and I'm like, what happened? I remember thinking that, why did those units I thought that were going up there not get there? And I think that was just good micro by my opponent. Just being able to have good interference and me not watching. And just kind of assuming that it was going to play out the way the way I envisioned it. It's a learning curve to know that reality doesn't occur based upon what our mind actually is envisioning. Well, it's good to envision. It's definitely good to have a positive envisionment and have that as a manifesting goal. And I think if you have those kinds of perspectives, then it really does do something. Whether that's in some other bigger philosophical universal sense or if it's just within ourselves, but still. Anyway, I could see I've got these, what are they, pterodactyls, is that what they are? And I'm just doing nothing with them because I don't know where to put them. And I was going to send them over to that unit on Objective 3, but then I'm pretty sure I saw there were like spear units, halberds. I was like, that's a stupid idea, so let's run away with them. And then I think in a moment, I don't think I've done it yet, I'm just like, let's just get them on Valkyrie, because why the hell not? We'll see if that's what happens. Or did I kill Valkyrie? Maybe that's what happened. Maybe that's why they're idle now. Maybe I did. I'm pretty sure I did at some point in this game, and maybe that's happened already now. Anyway, now I'm just trying to find a home for them. And I haven't seen yet that the Dreadsaurian's off the point, and all my units are just slouching around and being lazy. Thankfully, I'm doing a bit of unsummoning. But I have so few units on the field, and I just don't know how to deal with that. You see really good top-level players, and they just always have so many units on the field. And obviously, that's just me needing to get better. And I've got a Dreadsaurian too, so there's probably not a lot of units going to be on the field anyway, because that's such a huge, expensive unit in of itself. And I think actually, we talked about this after the game, Eric the Horrendous and I said that to him. I was like, man, I just felt like I couldn't get units on the field. And he pointed out wisely, like, you got a Dreadsaurian. You don't have many units to bring out because you pay the big bucks for a Dreadsaurian. So that's just the way it is. And now, what am I doing? I'm just trying to figure out a way to get a point back, because obviously I'm 2 points down, double capped. I mean, at this point, I definitely, actually, I did see, like a few 100 points ago, I was like, this game's already over. And I'd need to triple cap him to be able to win. And yeah, good luck with that. I can barely keep 1 point. But, you know, I was having fun. I was trying to value trade in whatever sort of haggard way I can. And I didn't really realize, how much this game was over. I really should have probably tapped out a good 3 minutes ago. But, you know, when you're in the heat of this battle, I think it's pretty normal that you don't really realize. And how much value am I down? Look, no, it's almost even. Look at that. And I've got healing too. Goodness knows how much I've remembered to use it. But in theory, so it's probably pretty even on value, maybe even a little bit up. And I was going to save that game, and then I just didn't for some reason. I think the game booted, and I didn't get to save it. But I saved the next one. So we shall see each other again in the 4th video, the final of this attempted tournament run by me. And we'll find out how I do in that. So thanks, and see you there.